welcome everyone to another week. The Focus TV. This is season 8, episode 42. We have Octavia Wyatt with us, which means her team won a primetime game. It should return the following week. Randall Lyons here, Cardell Dudley Jr. and Wilson Tarbay Jr. Octavia, we'll hold off for just a second. Last week, I flipped the first two segments. So excited to get to football. This time, we'll make sure we go in the correct order. Ray, the Washington Mystics, got questions for both you and Cardell. We'll start with the season has come to a close. We've been on Mystics Outlook quite a bit as the season's been winding down tonight. Literally, as we're knocking out this week's show, in the midst of a 10-2 run, trying to make up ground against New York. Ray, with this being the last one, your thoughts on the Mystics season? Not necessarily about tonight, just in its entirety. And we've talked a little bit on Mystics Outlook in terms of looking forward as well, but for this audience.
Yeah, we basically knew what it was coming into the season. They're in the rebuild, but there's reason to be optimistic moving forward. We saw what kind of rookie seasons Sonny Citron and Kiki Iriafen have had. Possibly the best rookie duo in league history, man. They've put up historic numbers and they hit the ground running in the W, which is rare, but they've adjusted well. They had some bumps in the road, had some adjustments to make, and they've stepped up to the challenge. We got a fairly healthy season of Shakira Austin, and she's kind of shown what she's capable of. She's had a tough last 2 seasons dealing with injuries and what have you. So it's good to see her be out there consistently. But I think a good place, man. They have 2 young cornerstones to build around. They got draft capital. We know what next year looks like in terms of free agency or whatnot. So that's going to be a crazy ride. But all in all, man, I think they're in a good place. They kind of limp their way to the end of the season. They're showing signs of life against this game in New York right now. But they had a tough go at it pretty much since after All-Star, basically. But all in all, I mean, given where they are as a franchise and what we know them to be trying to do moving forward, I think they're in a really good place, man. Just a couple of things to address, and they can be right back in the mix in a couple of years. It's just up to the front office to make the right moves. Of course, it's always going to come down to the players performing on the court, but yeah, man, I like the direction this franchise is going in right now.
Arno?
I mean, for me, obviously based on the last game, you got to get the point guard play up to par. You got to see if Georgia's the answer there. Even if she is, get some depth there to make sure that's always there. That's hurt them a lot this year. It really has. The turnovers it goes without saying, it killed them in a lot of games, and those games ended up being the difference in where they are or possibly fighting for a playoff spot. Just against the Fever the other night, I mean, between Shakira and Sonia and Kiki, the turnovers, they had 16 between those 3 alone. That's just, for a team total, that's too much. Between 3 players that you need to produce and score the ball, it's just too much, man. They pretty much, in a sense, handed them the game, because they just kept giving them extra possessions. And Fever scored 27 points off their 22 turnovers in that game. And that was all she wrote. You gotta have somebody that can not just take care of the ball, but control the pace and get the players better quality shots when they need them, and just make the game easier. And Georgia, if you familiar with her game from Kentucky, she's capable. But she just got to get on the floor and prove it at this level. You know what I mean? And that we won't know until next year. And obviously now you could say she has a little bit of an injury history. That's what I mean. You got to have an insurance policy just in case it rears its ugly head. Like many players. And there will be players available, obviously, through the expansion draft and then the regular draft. There's going to be a lot of movement. Hopefully the WNBA kind of, they get the CBA thing done. It's not looking good, but I'm optimistic. I'm an optimistic dude. Hopefully it comes together. But with that being said, you can't wait around on that. The Mystics, the front office got a job to do. Heck of a start this year, especially compared to how things went last year. Excellent job, A+ with the rookies that they drafted. Nonetheless, you got to build on that. You know what I mean? And you got to see what's out there. Because of the success of the rookies, it might entice a free agent that we are not expecting to want to come and build around them or whatnot. But money is going to be a big deal with that. Like I said, the CBA would dictate a lot. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't know what the salary cap's going to be. It's a lot of unknowns. You know what I mean? For me, DC, the area, I mean, any athlete can be comfortable with, as long as you don't go in certain areas, but you overall can be comfortable. It's a lot to do around here. It's not like a boring city or nothing like that. We're a big market. Our area is a big market, so that's not the thing. What stopped a lot of free agents from coming here is the culture of the franchises, both on the men's and women's side of it, over a number of years. Maybe not its pockets where it's strong, but consistently it hasn't been there. And that's what this new regime has to kind of continue to build on. And I think if they build on that, they'd be right back in the mix. Hell, they was fighting for it right up to the last few weeks of the season anyway. You know what I mean? And more impressive that hasn't really been talked about with the rookie core, Kiki and Sonia. They played just about every damn game. Coming straight out of college, no breaks. That's impressive. You got a bunch of vets that has never done that. So that tells you they built for it. You know what I mean? And, it's very encouraging, man. So yeah, just show that. I think that just the point guard spot, you got your front court that's ready. Sonya, Kiki, Shakira. Make sure Shakira is taken care of because a lot of teams will be after her. As a rookie contract ends, make sure she don't go nowhere. Can't keep her affording to give away talented bigs. Now you let Aaliyah go, okay. We all know where that came from, obviously, you know what I'm saying? After 1 year, new regime, we rolling with our players, she want to play, I get it. It's a number of things, cool. You can't keep giving teams talented players and think you're going to stay afloat, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, just show up that bench. Show up the bench so the starters don't have to play all world all the time to be able to win. You know what I mean? So, that's it. Once you do that, it's time to rumble. I like where they're going. I like where they're headed to. So, obviously, this last name regime has proven that they can draft. We'll see what happens there, and then, just hit the ground running.
Yeah, I'm right with you guys. We're just eager to see where they go from here and how they continue to construct this roster as we go forward. All right, Octavia, let's get it over with. It's just floor is yours.
I really have a legitimate excuse today for my attire. It's the thing at work, they have like a football kickoff. So everybody was supposed to wear like their team's attire, and I just got straight in from work in here. So just figured I'd keep it on at this point. So that's what my legitimate excuse is. Apologize. But yes, week 1 of the NFL season has officially come and gone, and it did not come without very, very interesting storylines, of course, in the NFC East, as well as through the entire NFL. But we will stick to the season opening game of the season, where the Philadelphia Eagles played against the Dallas Cowboys. They rose their banner. I was there in attendance. The atmosphere was electric. It was crazy. I had a lot of my cousins are Cowboys fans, so they were even texting. They was like, I can't even hear anything. I was like, it's loud in here. Like, it was crazy. It was amazing to be there as a fan. And it was just an overall great experience outside of the rain delay. I'm sure I mean, I don't know if we'll get into it, but I'll touch on the rain delay. I'll tell everybody it was not raining that hard. It was not raining hard. It drizzled on and off throughout the game, not really that much during the game. It was mostly stopped due to the lightning. I think it rained at a moderate speed for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as that. The hour did feel like a very long time just because it was so late. But neither here nor there. The Philadelphia Eagles were able to get the win, so they defeated the Cowboys 24-20. Jalen Hurts was 19 of 23, 152 yards. He had 14 carries for 62 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had 18 carries for 60 yards and 1 touchdown and 4 receptions for 24 yards. And Jahan Dotson had 3 receptions for 59 yards. I'll go through the Cowboys as well because I'll touch on both. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott was 21 of 34, 188 yards, 1 carry for 3 yards. Javonte Williams had 15 carries for 52 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 receptions for 10 yards. And CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 110 yards. We'll start on the Eagles side. Pretty much the one thing that I thought was going to happen, what was going to be probably our biggest question is going to be the secondary. It did not help that Jalen Carter decided to do the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen on a football field. I know for Philadelphia Eagles fans, we always get a bad rap of being those type of fans and we do crazy things like that. I'm happy to say that every fan that I talked to when I was there and everything that I've seen personally online, I'm not saying I've seen everything, everybody has condemned it. You know, it is not something that is becoming of any person, NFL player or not. Yeah, you can say Dak baited him into it. Everybody knows that Jalen Carter is a crash out. Point blank, period. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Hopefully he learns from this. We know he's had character issues in the past, and unfortunate for him that this is just something that's going to keep rearing its ugly head up for him when he keeps putting himself in situations like this. And it came to the tune of a $57,000 fine. Luckily for him, because this did happen before one play was had from scrimmage, they considered this game as his 1 game suspension since he was ejected. So he will be able to play on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. So silver lining in that, unfortunate because the reason that there was a suspension in play was due to Ben Vansterman getting injured on the opening kickoff of it. I can say being there, especially if you were watching it on TV, and I'm sure like once they announced it on TV that he was ejected, you hear everybody probably booing. Nobody in the stand, at least from my understanding, nobody in the stands even could hear what he was saying as far as why he was even ejected. I personally didn't even hear that he was ejected. All I heard was the flag, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and then all the booing started. So you couldn't hear what the ref actually said happened. And because of course we couldn't see it. So, and honestly, the service in there was horrible. And so it wasn't until people started getting on social media that they actually saw what happened. So it was kind of crazy all in itself, all the way around. But him getting ejected from the game was a big loss for them. It caused Jordan Davis, who did actually have a really good game, to have to play a lot more snaps than they would have anticipated. Jordan Davis has lost a lot of weight. He's gotten in better shape, but you could obviously see how gassed he was during those games as well, during the game as well. And then, of course, the Achilles heel of the situation is the secondary. It didn't make it easier for the secondary with Jalen Carter being out and knowing that they did not get a lot of pressure on Dak. They did not sack him at all in this game. And I think Jalen Carter being out was a big factor in that, as well as the run defense wasn't that great either. They were gassed all the way around, to be fair. One thing that I always like to say for every team in the first game, especially with the Philadelphia Eagles, but pretty much a lot of teams, their starters don't play, if any, at all in preseason. So a lot of these first games are preseason games for a lot of these teams. The Philadelphia Eagles had a very uncharacteristic penalties within this game. A lot of them did come in the secondary. Adoree Jackson, they're calling for his head, as you may as you may guess. It didn't look great. Now, of course, week 1, no Jalen Carter, no pressure up front. Maybe, but he was already a question mark going into the game as well anyway. So He was flagged for a pass interference. He yielded 5 catches for 103 yards and missed 2 tackles per NFL Next Gen Stats. That's not a good game. I think he actually even had a presser afterwards. He thought he did pretty decent, and I think that's before he watched the tape. So that's just what I'm going to say. But yeah, it wasn't good. Now they were aided on the other side by the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott played one of his best games that he's played as a quarterback, especially knowing coming off of the hamstring injury last year. On TV, I'm sure it looked like dots, and in the stadium, it looked like dots. I was like, okay, I don't like this Dak Prescott. I understand if I'm a fan of the team, I would love it. But me, did not love it at all. But he looked really good. You could tell that the injury seems to be behind him at this point. But if it had not been for, as you see pictured, multiple drops by CeeDee Lamb, we may be having a different situation, a different outcome of this game. It was definitely uncharacteristic of him as well. Funny story, when I went to the game, the hotel we actually stayed at was the Dallas Cowboys team hotel. It was so weird to walk in and literally see Des Bryant and CeeDee Lamb talking in the lobby like they were just normal people. And I was like, wait, where are we at this point? CeeDee Lamb walked right past me. I should have tripped him because he was playing so well. And I was like, dang, I should have tripped him up so he didn't have to play. But of course, I did not. I didn't want to get beat up. And Tyler Guyton, he's a trash talker. I mean, in the lobby, just trash talking to every fan that he saw. I was like, wow, okay, hey. The rookie got a little bit of just to him, and he went out there and played really, really well as well. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the clip of him literally, what did the hand say to the face? Yep, it happened in the game. So he definitely had a good game. I think that a lot of people probably were surprised that they played as well as they did. Also knowing that the game is the first game of the season. It's their first time in the last however many seasons without Michael Parsons. But we do also have to remember he did not practice with them at all this year. So, well, in training camp, excuse me. So they were a little bit prepared for it. But it was just kind of a toss-up, for both. I think both teams, I would say both teams come out of it a little bit happy. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys wish they would have won. And knowing that they had a lot of opportunities to win, I do still think while Javonte Williams played really, really well, I do still think that they're searching for a backup, or if not a number one, Miles Sanders, who did have a very big run in this game, but also fumbled on the next play. That's something that they have to look into. I think George Pickens didn't crash out too much. I think he had one personal foul in the game. So that's a positive for them as well. All in all, I think both teams come out of it with positives, outside of the fact that one wins and one loses. And it's a division game, and it's a big game coming off of the beginning of the season. So I think both teams have a lot of positives to go forward with, but there are, of course, a lot of things to clean up going forward. So we only had 2 games on the NFC East this week. Well, let me also say at the end of these games, so next Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles will play a Super Bowl rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Dallas Cowboys will play against the New York Giants. So having back-to-back division games, I don't know where they do that at, but obviously in the NFC East. So in the next game, there was the Washington Commanders versus the New York Giants. The Commanders were victorious and defeated the Giants 21-6. Jaden Daniels was 19 of 30, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 11 carries, 68 yards. Ja'Cory Bill Krosky Merritt had 10 carries for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. Deebo Samuels had 7 receptions for 77 yards, 1 carry for 19 yards and 1 touchdown. And Zach Ertz had 3 receptions, 26 yards for 1 touchdown. On the Giants side, Russell Wilson was 17 of 37, 136 yards, 8 carries for 44 yards. Tyron Tracy Jr. had 10 carries for 24 yards, 2 receptions for 11. And Malik Neighbors, 5 receptions for 71 yards. As I watched this game, I felt more and more just sadness for Malik Neighbors. It's that much disheartening. It's that much more disheartening when you see your college quarterback across the field doing the things that he used to do with you, and now you're up here with Russell Wilson. It's got to be a tough pill to swallow. It's tough The Giants didn't look any different than what they looked like when they had Daniel Jones under center, although Daniel Jones looked good and where he ended up in Indianapolis. It's the same things we talk about every year. They weren't able to get a pass. They weren't able to get a run game really going. Again, Tyron Tracy, 10 carries, 24 yards. Russell Wilson being a leading rusher, I don't know about that. So that tells you a lot in that sense as well. And then Malik Neighbors, 5 receptions for the 71 yards. You know, good players are always going to have somewhat decent stats, but I know he's looking for a lot more. For the Commander side, I was a little bit, I try to take it with a grain of salt because, again, it was the New York Giants. But their defense looked pretty decent. You know, they definitely beefed up front, so they were definitely able to control the run game from the New York Giants. Again, I still think they have a running back by committee, especially with Tyron Tracy Jr., although he did have a pretty decent season last year. Their run defense, which was 30th ranked last season, only allowed 38 yards on 15 carries to the Giants running backs. Their tackles, Javon Kinlaw, who's new, and then, of course, Daron Payne definitely stood out, and they were out stuffing the run. They had a lot of good plays where they were able to limit them to either little or nothing. They actually had 0 rushing yards after contact. So they definitely swarmed to the ball, and they were able to, you know, put their foot in their ass if you really want to talk about it. So it was, you know, but at the same time, again, it's the Giants. It's a little bit hard to really gauge it this early on, but I think it's a positive sign for them. Of course, Jaden Daniels, while not as accurate as we're used to seeing him, he was 3 of 8 on third downs. But of course, his rushing yards, 71 yards rushing, and he still threw for 233 yards. And they were able to get the ball to one Deebo Samuels, who was actually the leading wide receiver of the game. Of course, he definitely was a spark plug for them. There you can see they're still using him in some capacity that he was used when he was in San Francisco. I think that it's going to be pivotal to see how his body stands up as the season goes on, especially because, you know, let's be real. The Giants on paper, their defense is supposed to be really, really good. So, but I still think that one of their Achilles heel is that their defense can't do everything if their offense doesn't give them the opportunity to lead from the front. So it's a little bit difficult for them in that way. So the Commanders in a pretty good space. You know, they're going to have definitely a big test coming up on a short week at that against the Green Bay Packers and Michael Parsons, and who they're definitely used to seeing. And I know Dan Quinn is used to seeing as well. And I know he's definitely, you know, off the game that he played. I think he said like 44 snaps in their last game or something like that. And he was a wrecking ball in that. And you just expect for his, you know, him to be ramped up more and more each week. Again, they're also going to come off of a short week, but still. But yeah, the Cowboys, they look the same. Their offensive line is still not where it needs to be. Their left tackle did not play as well. It's just a tough situation for them continuously. Everybody is already starting a campaign for Jackson Dart, who was the backup quarterback in this game. Jameis Winston was listed as the emergency quarterback as a QB3. Dable has already come out and stated that Russell Wilson will start this week against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to stay with Russ. He didn't look, of course, he's not mobile. He's not the rest of yesteryear. And with the offensive line that he has, he literally has to run for his life. I mean, he was able to eke out the 44 rushing yards. He not going to do that forever. So they definitely have a tougher schedule in their first 4 games. After this, I believe they have the Chargers and I want to say Kansas City, but I can't remember who the other one is. So they're definitely kind of in a tailspin to a certain degree. So they're definitely going to have some things that they need to shore up. Just to button up a couple of things, the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know what we're doing. We're still trading for people. The season has started. They did also add Zadarius Smith, as well as they just traded for Tank Bigsby as well. So that's interesting. Will Shipley, who was, between the second or third runner back, it appeared he was second. AJ Dillon didn't get a lot of touches. They also didn't get John Mechie that involved as well, who also just came up to the team late. So they have a lot of things they need to shore up there. There was one more thing I had, but I forgot that fast. But yeah, that was just I wanted to clean that up for the Philadelphia Eagles. Those two last people that they picked up. Yeah, it's shaping up to be a crazy year as always. These are the times that I love the most, though. So I'm super excited to see, especially because we have them playing Thursday night, which is literally in 2 days, how they are going to adjust. The Commanders adjust going into a really big game. And it's definitely going to be probably bigger than it would have been before the Micah trade, knowing that the Packers, are one of the teams that people are talking about a lot in the NFC when it comes to either Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know how much people are talking about the Detroit Lions anymore, even though, again, week 1. The Packers, we're talking about also the Rams, and of course the Commanders. So it's going to be a big time showdown to see where both teams are going to stand. So super excited.
Yeah, I need people to just hang up the phone with Howie calls. Also,
I don't know. I don't know why they still talk to him.
Yeah, but I guess that's why the Jags are the Jags, right? They want to pick top 10 once again next year. But with Micah Parsons, he got that new deal. So, usually when those blue chippers get paid, they move the market a little bit. We saw Denver after Micah got paid, went ahead and blessed Nick Bonito, one of the best pass rushers in the league, kind of under the radar. People get familiar with him. That is a pass rushing demon over there in Denver. So hopefully people get familiar with him. He's one of the best defenses in the league. He's one of the big reasons for it. And again, Denver doing what Dallas didn't do, which is when you get premier pass rushers, you shut up, you pay them, and you go on about your business. Pass rushers cost a lot of money. It's kind of important. Last thing about pass rushers. Now Nick Bosa is cheap, relatively cheap because of the money. Ended the game on Sunday. Pay him $34 million to close games. Look at what Micah just did for the Packers. It matters. Benito teleports off the end for Denver. He doesn't run. He just starts one spot, and next thing you know, he's near your quarterback. It's kind of important. But Cardell, know you got a lot for us. Take it or leave it, a rapid fire. Where we at?
Yeah, we stand on take it or leave it, and we're gonna stay on the NFL side of things. Octavia already touched on it, but we're gonna get deeper into it. The NFL officially handed Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter his punishment for spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott during Thursday night season opener, causing him to be ejected before a single snap from scrimmage. Carter was fined $57,222 by the NFL. This is how much Carter makes in a week based on his salary. The week 1 game he missed from being ejected will serve as the 1-game suspension for Carter, meaning he won't be suspended for any more games. Carter will not appeal the NFL's decision, but instead focus on the highly anticipated Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs, slated for Sunday. Take it or leave it. Obviously, take it or leave it. Do you feel like the punishment should have been worse? No bias, Octavia.
I will be completely honest. When I found out what actually happened, I'll start with this. When I found out that he spit on Dak, regardless of whatever Dak did before, spit towards the ground, whatever that was. When I heard that, I was just like, he's gone. Like they're going to suspend him. And I literally said that to multiple fans over, and it was like, he's not playing next week. So I'm actually surprised. As a fan, I'm going to take it because we're going to need him. But I'm surprised, especially because of this whole no nonsense and how they are about, reputation and, going against the Shield and putting them in a bad light, knowing that this was literally the first game of the NFL season on national TV in front of everybody who has been waiting 245 days or however many days long it was for the game to come on, and for this to be the first thing that happens. So I'm actually very surprised that he was not suspended. I do think the technicality of the fact that he did not play a snap is interesting, where they will be taking that as in consideration of it. I mean, the fact that he was literally fined, like that's literally some people's whole year's salaries, like that he was fined. And again, knowing that he is still on a rookie contract, I mean, I know it might not be that much money to him, but it's a good chunk of change, I would assume. And then I also hate the fact that now, of course, I think NFL players are sometimes put in situations where they are expected to be a leader, they're expected to be a role model to other players or other kids and everything like that. You had a situation in a college game where another player spit on a player. You don't want to say that it's literally because of this situation, but you don't know. And it's just unfortunate that it happened in this game and then it happened in that game as well. And that's not a trend that we want in any type of anything. That is assault. Like if you were on the street, like that is assault. So Jalen, I hope he learns from the situation. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He is a certified crash out. We know this. He didn't even have to put himself in the situation to even be near the huddle in the first place. Had he stayed where he was, focused on the fact that he was getting ready to start a game, we wouldn't even be in this situation. So I'm gonna take it as a fan, that they don't have to, that he doesn't have to miss another game. But as a human being, and as just a fan of the NFL its own, I would leave it in that set that I do believe that he should have been suspended, if they really wanted to make an example for a certain degree, because it to me is a non-negotiable, it's not tolerable in the league. But hey, I'm just a fan.
Ray, man, what are your thoughts, man? Your boys was looking soft. Go ahead, man. Speak your piece.
Right, because it should have been a fight. To be fair,
That's exactly what I was about to say.
It should have been thrown. Like I'm sorry, they fought later in the game.
Your man should be missing a season.
And to be fair, like the fans, are super hard. Like literally, as soon as they came out, I mean, I seen middle fingers flying, FU bombs. Like they should have been hyped up at that sense. Like, so the fact that's why I didn't even know what happened, because nothing really transpired. It didn't look like, it just looked like they were talking. And the next thing you know, you saw a flag get thrown. So it was just like, what happened? So yeah, I mean, it definitely should have been some hands thrown. Maybe Dak shouldn't have been the one that did it, because you protect your quarterback to that sense. But I'm surprised there wasn't a fight.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to let their quarterback get spit on, I'm not going to get worked up about it. So, it is what it is. I was definitely shocked that that they considered that the 1-game suspension. Like Octavia said, they use that technicality, but I'm not even concerned about the league's punishment. Like, if you spit on me, the punishment is going to be you getting your ass beat thoroughly. So, yeah, if that's what they decide to do, then cool. But yeah, dog, that like you said, Cardell, they looking like food. Like your quarterback got spit on in front of the whole team, and the only thing that happened was the ref threw the flag. That's nonsense. So yeah, I don't care. Like that's foolishness.
Jerry Jones. Oh, you sure know how to pick him, Wilson.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. He should have been suspended for a couple of weeks. And again, like I tell you said, like you came in the league off some crash out stuff, like high level crash out activities, like all the biggest of red flags. Just for coming in the league with multiple red flags like this, I don't want to see you till next year. Like sit your butt all the way down. Like you should be aware that if everyone perceives you as a crash out, you don't have room to do things like this. Secondly, from a human standpoint, that is despicable, disgusting. I got other words, but I don't know if they're so appropriate for that. Like, you don't do that. Also, to Cardell's point, I've seen offensive linemen fight folks if their quarterback gets pushed to the ground, even when they flop after a play. Let you lay on someone's quarterback too long. Someone wants to talk to somebody. Either it was a hell of an amazing display of restraint, but from the guys up front, like nobody took a paw at him. Nobody. Like nothing at all. But as Ray said, if they don't care, I guess I shouldn't care too much. But now I'm gonna leave that. Like and the technicality is wild. I thought Howie just had something on GMs. Clearly, he got it on the league too. How the hell do you get kicked out of game and they count that as a suspension? The game started, y'all. What are you talking about? He doesn't play special teams. That large man is not on the field for special teams. It was 6 seconds in, and he got ejected before the first official snap of offense. Bro, banish him to the phantom zone. Like, but this isn't it. Just to be like, oh, well, since he technically didn't play, I guess he'll be back next week. Just because they got a big matchup with the Chiefs. That's just as bad as I'm not going to let the Chiefs off the hook. How is Gene Rice cleared to play? Dude was doing GTA level side quests in real life, and he's available to play. How? So NFL, y'all are on one right now. For the sake of the Super Bowl rematch, y'all are tripping. There's multiple players around this league that got suspended, the substance abuse, stuff like that, and it's not to make light of that. But, bro, you got GTA side quests, super crash out, man. No suspensions. None. Like, dare I say, he's had more Jalen Carter's had more incidents in terms of crashing out than memorable, big plays on the field in his NFL career. How the heck do you get out of this with a technicality? Maybe I can see it was like some outstanding citizen within the NFL circles. Dog, he was a crash out at Georgia. He was a crash out on draft day. He was a crash out when he got to Philly. He's been crashing out ever since. What are y'all? Like, yeah, I'm leaving it. That's crazy.
He should have missed the whole season. Like, he should have got jumped. When I mean, like, physically harmed, dog, like, you are unable to play for the rest of the season because your leg is broke, your neck broke, your jaw broke. Like, it should have been all out brawl, dog. People coming from the sidelines, coaches getting tossed on. It should have escalated at that point, man. Like, you can't have that. Now I really look at the Dallas team like y'all all just the P word, man. Like, I don't feel nothing over there. If I'm a fan, yeah, it's gonna be a long season because they tolerated that. All 5 offensive linemen right there, they seen it. Even Dak, I'm like, Dak, throw a jab, dog. That will be commended. That will be understandable at that point. You let another man just spit on you, dog. F that flag. It's no way you can walk off that field healthy, bro. Like, you're going to miss the season. You're gonna miss a lot. You're gonna be hurt, man. You know what I mean? It should have been an all-out brawl. And I remember, like, incidents happening back in the day when I was a kid with the Broncos. Bill Romanowski spit on J.J. Stokes. Our team got at Bill Romanowski. He's on our team. The brothers on Shannon Sharp, Willie Green, all the brothers, man, they got at him in the locker room. Like, Shannon, they had to step in it. It's documented because they ain't look at it like, oh, you doing that to the enemy. It was a racial thing. It's like, nah, bro. Especially like somebody like Shannon Sharp from the deep South. Like, nah, bro, we don't play that. We don't play that. Like that, nah, we at you. This how you know we in a time full of some soft, we in this very soft time, man. Because there's just certain things you just can't do. You it shouldn't even come to that, bro. Like, I just, like, bro, Michael Parsons is the least of their concerns. Because Mike, I understand, bro. I understand, man. Give me my money, bro. Look what I'm playing with. Look at these dudes I gotta go to war with. You trying to hold up my check? Man, please. I need all of that. Cool, trade me. I remember when T.O. did the joint in Cowboy Stadium, messing with the logo and all that. And Emmitt Smith, they got mad over that. Imagine a spitting incident. And that, like, it gotta go down, bro. It's just certain things. I don't want to hear about no professionalism. I don't care about no money. We men at the end of the day. It's just certain things it's certain lines you don't cross. And we live in a time where they blending all this, man. Like, to get away with bullshit. That's one of them things you can't get away with. Like, you got to get hurt bad. All 5 offensive linemen should have pushed Dak out the way we got this and jumped on his ass and whooped his ass. You know what Dak should have did? I will pay the fine. You good, dog. Good looking out. And that would show everybody, don't play with us, man. Keep it about football or y'all going to get your ass whooped. So now, I'm like everybody in the league should be looking at I've seen former player James Harrison, the little podcast he had with Hayden. He said there's no way anybody on that field had kept me off of him, man. He said the things I would have did to him would have been unhuman. Like instant, dog. Like he said, I don't see how Dak stayed under control with that. That just tells you the type of people over there, man. Like they're nice guys, man. So, like, I'm just saying. So, if I'm a fan, I'm just like, you know what, I'm good, dog. Like, it is what it is, dog. I can't put much investment in it because there's just no way. It's no way. Like, I'm the type of dude, I'm ready to swing if you say certain things. Spit is nothing to talk about. I'm jumping on you. I don't care. I'm hurting you. I got to get you, bro. You can't walk in the locker room. You gonna hold me like I'm gonna get to him. He can't leave the stadium healthy. It's a wrap, man. That's nasty, dog. That's one of the worst things you could do to him, man. Like that's worse than getting slapped. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just that's like that's basically just saying you in front of everybody, man. You ain't like what you gonna do about so what? And luckily for Carter, it would be worse if they would have lost. Luckily for him, they won. So it kind of mask a little bit of the sting. Had they lost that, come on, dog. But they didn't deserve to lose that because like I can't even the Cowboys, like I can't point to one dude over there that you can say tough got some heart after this situation. That's what it is now. Until they prove otherwise. Because there's no way you should be allowed to get away with that, man. But we in a totally different time, man. I'm good, man. certain type of dudes stay away from me. I'm cool, man. Like oh man,
they would have fought in baseball for that.
Oh, 100%.
But NFL players just let that rock. Like benches would have cleared in baseball. Like they'd still be fighting in baseball or something.
And I'm like, that's crazy if you do that to me and I got a bat in my hands. Like you really got a death wish. You really got a death wish, homie. Something wrong with you. I just don't understand baseball fights. That's why I know a lot of them can't because you can't hit me with a pitch and do certain things. I got a bat in my hand. I'm like, are you crazy? Oh man, you got a death wish. All right, cool. I'm gonna grant that wish. That's how you made it. But it's no way he should have walked off that field healthy, man. Like comfortable, the complaint, and he looked like he complained, like, "Oh my god, really?"
Oh, for it, because like he walked off with his hands behind his back. It looked like he was like whistling when he was walking. I was like, "Hey, okay," but let me play devil's advocate. As I don't know. This is for the Cowboys though, not for us. Like there's literally nothing. So, like I said, being there. Outside of the people that were right there, of course, like you said, the offensive tackles and everything that were right there, they definitely should have did something. Like I said, being there, nobody knew that happened.
They didn't show the replay on that big ass screen.
They did not in the stadium. They did not. Nobody had any idea. So the only reason why I say playing devil's advocate is the people on the sideline, the Cowboys on the sideline. My guess is they didn't know it happened until after they walked him off. That's my guess. I don't know, but I know for a fact that where I was, and I was literally right, they were on our end of the field because I was in the end zone, and they were on our end of the field. Nobody, like there was no uproar. Like I didn't see anything happen. All we know was a flag was thrown, and everybody started booing. And so you couldn't really hear what he said he did. I don't even know if he said what he did. Because again, I couldn't tell. All you could hear was personal flag, number 98. And as soon as that happened, lights out. It was loud as hell in there. So that's the only small caveat I would say as the devil's advocate is maybe them on the sideline didn't hear that aspect. But definitely the people that were there.
That's fair for y'all. But you know why they don't fly for the sidelines? Because once you see him walking off, the next logical question as an athlete, like, where's Jalen going? What's going on? What happened? They look like he was talking trash. What's going on?
Okay, that's
then they would be like, hey man, he spit on who? We got to rush to the locker room. You just everybody got to go to the locker room, dog. Like where everybody going? That's what you would have saw next on TV. And we gonna get this fool. And then the Eagles better come back there and save him because he ain't gonna make it.
Okay.
Like you gonna ask those questions like why he getting ejected? Because I get it from the side. It looked like they just put helmet to helmet talking trash, face mask to face mask. They talking trash, flag go up. You ejecting them for that? What's going on? Like then you would have found out, oh, he spit on him. Or if you the Cowboys, you see him lose, like, what happened? What's going on? You inquire about what's going on. He spit on him. I know the coaches got word and he spit on him. What? Fuck that. We all in the locker room. Let's go. And you just saw the whole team running. Whoever the leaders are, I don't even know who they are. Everybody, if you don't run to the back, you can no longer be a Cowboy because we're gonna see you in the locker room. So you better make a tough choice. Even if you don't want to fight, hold the Eagles back till we get done with this boy. He gonna understand this will not, and the rest of the league, this ain't gonna be tolerated. Play football, or you gonna get because we gonna win something. So the Cowboys lost the game and was insulted, dog.
And their dignity and what's left of their respect. It's like even
what if they try to come back? I had to look at when they play again. They play November 23rd.
It doesn't. Outside of them physically,
because Octavia, you got brother and father. What do you find out somebody spit on them?
No, I mean, like, I can even tell you this. Like, I literally had somebody literally threaten to spit on me before. Me and a girl, we were beefing. Like, so I said, I wish you would, bro. It ain't enough people in here to get me off you. I might lose the fight, but something gonna happen. So I hear you. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Even post game.
True, because I'm thinking about
your boo that just went in the Hall of Fame. Your old boo. What he doing coming down there?
Cheerios, and he was like the buzzer baby. And that's what I
and after went beeline straight to the bus. Where you at? So once we found out when we got in the locker room, what? Oh hell no! We getting in the locker room, dog. They can't stop. Dog, security can't stop a bunch of 300+ pound men from getting that lift weights and squat 600 pounds. Dog, we getting up in there. Where Jalen at? And it's just gotta be an ugly brawl. NFL, you just gotta deal with the headlines. But what's going to happen moving forward? If I'm part of the Cowboys, play football. That's gonna be the message. That tells you, I don't care how much of a crash out you think you are, you know better than to try certain people. That just, it still paints the Cowboys in a bad light, dog, moving forward. It's, I mean, come on.
I feel like this is the most I've ever defended the Cowboys in my life.
But there's no coming back from that. Like,
that's sports about in my life.
Especially in the trenches. Like, my whole thing, no matter whatever happened, I don't even care about the people sideline. Your starting offensive line was right there.
The entire.
They get paid millions of dollars.
What made it worse is when I found out that Tyler Guyton was the one. Like I told you, he was literally in the hotel lobby talking cash shit to everybody, and I know he was right there. So,
but that's what I'm saying. The whole five were right there. They saw it. No one lifted a finger. Like, that's crazy. For the rest of the year, every team's defense, when they see you, hey man, like half that battle's already won.
I'm gonna be disrespectful, bro. But y'all in football, because he can't even talk trash, man. Like, you let another man spit on you, bro, and you just sat there, man. I don't want to hear none of y'all talk. I know y'all. I will say that, bro. Like all game, every time I sack that, man. You smell like all day, dog. It will never end.
16 weeks of that. 16 more weeks of that.
No, for the rest of your career, I'm gonna bring that up, dog. Like, every time we play, y'all, I'm gonna bring that up. So you check it, bro. It never.
That was in division too.
No disrespect. I don't even like bringing it up. Pippen, he never lived down that migraine game and what the Pistons did to him. It still follows him in retirement. Like, dog, you can't go out like that. It's just certain things as a man. Hell nah, you cross that line. I gotta push you back across the line, and I gotta make an example out of you to show everybody else. Don't cross that line with me. Now, anybody else, you welcome to try. With me, don't cross that line with me. Period. And that line was crossed. They danced across that line. They did flips. They didn't do nothing to push them back across. No, they just stood there. Oh, you threw a flag. We got them. Come on, bro. Yeah.
Hostile environment.
Right. It's time to be a free agent fan.
It was very hostile. So they should have been
a free agent fan, right? We got room over with the Broncos, man. Come on. I'd be goddamn, dog.
I'm telling you, my dad on the field, he's like, I'm about to be a Raven fan. They keep playing with me, bro.
No, we're gonna move on, man. That was crazy, man. But Man, we got to talk about this crazy Kawhi Leonard situation. So, 2019 free agency, the situation between him and the Clippers and taking under the table money from an alleged now defunct company. It's a new term with it, according to the Toronto Star. Kawhi Leonard, through his uncle Dennis Robertson, made a number of demands while negotiating with the Raptors during the 2019 free agency. Some of them very familiar to what Pablo Torre reported Leonard had achieved from Aspiration, the now defunct company that has alleged that Steve Ballmer and the Clippers gave him under the table money, which is now being investigated by the NBA. Allegedly gave him under the table money. According to the Toronto Star, Uncle Dennis made a number of outrageous requests, including a stake in ownership of the Toronto Maple Leafs and $10 million annually in extra sponsorship income that he would not have anything to do for. But multiple sources with the knowledge of Toronto's contract negotiations with Leonard in 2019 told the Star that Leonard's uncle and Representative Dennis Robinson made demands that lined up almost perfectly with what Leonard reportedly got from Aspiration, according to the sources who were granted anonymity in order to speak freely about the negotiations. Robinson's list was long and absurd. It included a trade for Paul George, which featured a big price tag. It included a slice of ownership of the Toronto Maple Leafs, which Robinson was told was impossible. The Raptors told Leonard's camp that he could not have an ownership stake in the Leafs on any other company they did business with, but they could help set up endorsements with corporate sponsors who wanted to work with him. The alleged response from Uncle Dennis was simple: "We don't want to do anything." Raptors representative said any sponsor that would want to shoot ads on range appearances. Robinson's reiterated Leonard didn't want to do anything for the money. Ray, what are your thoughts on this wild situation? It just got wilder, man.
You gotta be careful who you guys speaking for you, man. Like, I mean, I don't know if Buddy was operating at his own, if he just went off the reservation, or he was operating at Kawhi's BS. But either way, you got some big balls to walk into somebody's office talking that type of shit. I like when I saw it, I'm just like, wow, like he really did that. But yeah, I mean, it seems like the Clippers have some kind of logical defense set up as to why things went the way they went. Yeah, it's NBA looking bad right now between this type of stuff, this gambling. The PR department got put in some overtime, bro. But yeah, those demands were ridiculous. I would have had him thrown out on his head by security. Like, what are you talking about? Demanding ownership in the franchise and money and endorsement money that you don't have to work for. Like, what part of the game is that? But yeah, this is crazy. It's gonna be real interesting to see how this plays out. Yeah, NBA got a problem on their hands, because if you don't make an example, then who knows? Because it's gonna be people with even more leverage than Kawhi had, and they're gonna be emboldened. So they gotta do some voodoo or something and raise David Stern back up to handle this, because this needs to be addressed firmly.
Man, it's gonna be a hell of a documentary for the player empowerment era down the line, though. I can't wait for that 30 for 30. Wilson.
Hey man, I'm still stuck on the ownership in the Maple Leafs. Like, DeMar and Kyle didn't ask for that. They spent more time there than you.
Vince
Vince is a god there, and he doesn't have ownership in the Leafs. Like Ray said, that is those demands are crazy. Also, y'all out here tripping. We just saw what happened the last time. Y'all got to doing too much. What was the reaction from the owners? You got
Yeah.
non-certified people walking around as advisors, negotiators, and not as agents. Y'all about to make it real nasty out here, where your agent and you about to be the only one out here talking. I'm about to mess it up with some of the other perks you get with that whole family thing is about to get real interesting around the league per team by team. Like, this is crazy. And if anything happens to come out where, like, say, there's a lot of talk with the Bomber thing where some folks are like, allegedly, like, the Clippers knew exactly what was happening, whatever. Some folks are like, pretty much they got scammed. And whatever ends up happening with that, this is another one of those things where we're going to look back and we're going to point to that and be like, that's why things like this don't happen anymore. Like, it's 2025 and we're talking about free agency in 2019. What you out here doing? And they're talking about there were more absurd things. What else is more absurd than asking for ownership of the Toronto freaking Maple Leafs? And then I'm still stuck on right, you don't even want to shoot an ad? You just show up.
And wave. You walk past and just wave and just walk back out. You can't do that.
They already know they're not about to get you. You're not going to do a monologue. You don't talk. They're not going to ask you to speak. Like, I want sponsorship money, but I don't want to work for it or show up for it. Or what are we doing? It's always, hey, look, man, we're going to look back and be like, whatever the end of, what's it called? The reaction from this nonsense is from the NBA, I don't hear nothing from anybody. Because again, it's this wonderful era and people that were tripping during it. Here we go, man. Where you asked for ownership of the Maple Leafs? He was here for a year. A year.
A whole nother franchise and a whole nother sports league, dog. I didn't even know Kawhi liked hockey. But anyway, Octavia.
I mean, to be fair, the part about him wanting the sponsorship money without doing nothing, like, I was like, he probably really said that shit. Because he don't want to do none of that stuff, no way. I think you guys covered it, though. Like, it's just asinine to think that you could really walk in there and say something like that. So I hope they get to the bottom of it. I hope somebody got like a leak recording somewhere, like they leaking all these Young Thug jail calls. I hope somebody leaked something so we can hear about what happened, because that's crazy. It's literally crazy. It's one of the craziest things I've heard in a very long time when it comes down to sports. And people, demands, like, to me, like, that's like something out of a movie. Like, I feel like you watch a movie and they be like, yeah, I want a farm, I want this cow, I want that building. Like, I feel like that's the type of stuff you see in like sports movies, like sports comedies movies or something like that. If that should really happen in real life, that's wild. And I don't know who you think you are, bro. Like, that's to me, that's just crazy.
Man, that you said it when that player empowerment era started going off the rails with the player movement, how they was talking. And I don't want people to hear me and say I'm anti-player, because in my heart, I'm always going to be a hooper. I'm always going to be on the side of a player. But dog, it's the reason why I say it's the player entitlement era. They messed it up for everybody. I always bring up this analogy, and every basketball player understands where I'm coming from. No matter what team you play on, what age group, coach can make you run a suicide. Say, touch the line, or we're going to run until we do. And it's always one or two motherfuckers that don't touch the line, keep you running. Always, you can count on just one or two goofy coach, clear as day. Dog, touch the line, we done. One suicide. But if you don't touch the line, we're going to keep running. And it's always a habitual line stepper, dog. Till the team got to threaten that man like, dog, if you miss the line again, we just going to beat the shit out you right here. And drag you to the side and just keep it going. My point with that is, you can't be this open and nice with, I hate to say, you just can't. It's going to be dudes that really overstep their boundaries with stuff, man. Always, man. Like literally, why would I give you ownership of a damn team in another pro sports league and you know nothing about that business? Have nothing to do with that business. I never even see you hold a hockey puck. Like, think, what Uncle Dennis a hockey fan? What is going on, bro? Like, what I'm gonna look at that. What the fuck? Like, come on, Kawhi. Come on, man. I'm the type I want to see all the facts come out, then we go from there, man. Because it can't be like this, dog. Like it's some wild stuff going on in sports, dog. I get you one ring, bro. I know Michael Jordan, them dudes, Isaiah Thomas, them do at home. Like, damn, I ain't do enough. I ain't asked for enough. What's going on, bro? Like, Mike should man. I should have got ownership of the White Sox and stuff. I could have played for that on the team, man. I could have paid myself. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. For one ring. Team asked that. If I'm Toronto, I'm not giving you that either. Because look on the flip side. The Clippers, forget the alleged stuff. Whatever they did, they gave it to him. He ended up there with Paul George. What have they gotten since? And you gave up the league MVP and the current champion. You gave that up for Paul. And the basketball people in the locker room was like, we don't want to give up Shea. I remember Doc vividly saying, we did not want to trade Shea. They knew he was going to be nice. He was already nice. And what did you get in return for all this nonsense, man? Let's take it a step further. For a lot of these dudes that exerted their power and stuff like that with different franchises during this period, I'm gonna say the prior period because this CBA done shut all that down for the most part. The prior period, what did a lot of those franchises get for doing all that? Except having a hell of a journey trying to rebuild the team after things ain't go out the way they planned. Kawhi won a championship. You can say Bron won a championship. That's it. They abuse their power. That's what that era is. And it's why you can't just give, even though they're superstar, you just can't give certain people everything they want because they don't. It's like when you were kids, certain kids don't know how to act when you give them everything. They're going to abuse it. They're going to act a fool. There are certain kids that's going to take it, do what they're supposed to do. But more times than not, it's going to be a kid that act a fool and just really just go off the deep end, and you got to reel him back in with some severe punishment. That's what's about to happen to the league. It's already happening with the CBA. You got dudes that a few years back would have got $100 million. Nah, sign for this $12 million. Call it a day. You don't like it, go overseas. And you're seeing a lot of NBA players just go overseas because they just like, hell, I can't make the same here. Like, it's real now. And depending on what this investigation leads to, it's going to get more real. Look, I like Adam Silver. I do. He's been great. The league has expanded. But at times, I just feel like he ain't had enough of a strong, firm hand on things, like when he needed to come down hard. But now, David Stern, you could say he was the opposite, the other way, the extreme. He was too extreme at times. The Wolves was the last situation similar to this with the Joe Smith thing and all that. We're going to say they never really recovered. They never really recovered from that. And that's why they was forced to kind of be like, KG, you got to go because we're not going to win. They took first-round picks and all that. It was tough. But what did David Stern do that for? We going to set an example, like Ray said, we're going to set an example right now that this won't be tolerated moving forward. Because if it is, other teams going to do it, and now we're going to have chaos in the league, and it could just taint the league, and fans don't want to rock with it. And then we lose the league. Like it's not rocket science, man. Like, sports is the one thing we all come to where it's like just pure competition. You hope it is just no BS with it. May the best man or woman win. You see what I'm saying? So when you start allowing shady stuff to possibly get involved with it, it can just, oh man, here we go. We don't even got this escape no more. It's BS with this. So we turn off. So you got to check that. I get Adam Silver. He wanted to be player friendly with all that, but and for the most part, it's been successful in a lot of areas, but it's always the couple of people that mess it up for everybody. And if it comes out that a lot of shady stuff was done, he got to come down with the hammer. He has to. Because you know what that's going to do? If I'm a franchise, you let them get away with it? Bad. Cool. Jokic, Giannis, all y'all come over here, whatever y'all need, baby. We got y'all, man. You ain't this little piece of company. You ain't gotta make no piece to come show up, dog. We give you 30 a piece, man. We got you. We make it happen. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is crazy, man. But yeah, last thing, and you see it a lot more with high school level than college now with the NIL stuff. But when you get to league, the professionals kind of weed out all the family members and the friends and the hanger-oners that want to call shots and feel important because they next to the guy that is the guy. Players got to do a better job of selecting who helps guide their career, man. Like this ain't fun of games, man. Like this could really jack Kawhi's career. Like he's already catching heat for not always being available, even though we all know his injuries are legit. Like he has, hey man, his squad is just jacked up, and it's something he's gonna have to deal with post playing. Like it's something he's gonna deal with for the rest of his life. It's degenerative. Like it's never gonna be right again. But this is crazy, man. And you be and honestly, man, that's why we gotta wait till the reporters now. 9 times out of 10, it's not even the player; it's the people around the player. But it's your responsibility because those are your peoples. We won't even care about or know who they are because and that's why I always come back here. That's why you gotta be careful who you hang around. And oftentimes, it's the people closest to you that do you in, indirectly or directly. So you gotta learn to. No, you got come on, man. And I heard, when I'm hearing, he's not even registered with the NBPA as a certified agent.
He's not. He's just his advisor and negotiator. When you brought it up, I went to go double check. But yeah, no, he's not his literal actual agent. He's not certified or anything. He's just his advisor and negotiator.
Like you gotta take tests. Like they really make you work to become an agent with the NBA and be able to speak and deal with the NBPA and teams. Like it's not just something like, yeah, I got my degree. He brought me on that. It's not that simple, man. So what ramifications come from this? Because he's not certified. Because the league don't play that. Like I just came from the combine. NBA from they said they just started letting family members come to the combine and only allow 2 family members. They only allow 2. And they check to see if those really your family. Ain't like that's my uncle and it's your boy and girls club coach. Yeah, that's my they literally was like, we called the players. Oh, that's your coach from when you was in grade school. I know you're still close with him. That's not your blood. He can't come. Now, this your last chance. Bring 2 family members, or don't bring nobody, or that's it. Or we just gonna shut it down. Only you show up, and that's just a bad way to get started with the league, where they gotta come at you like that. Just do things the right way, and that's what it was, man. So it's just so much silly stuff, man. So if they like that about the combine, what makes you think they not even be even more fierce about business negotiations with you, contract negotiations with you, being tied to a team? They'll be on the books to pay you millions of dollars. You represent that organization everywhere you go, ultimately representing the league. If they're like that about Youngish, about to hopefully get drafted to the league, it just makes no sense, man. So, man, it's some messy times, man. They had us cussing up in the show, all that. Ray got to chill. Damn. Go ahead, Wilson, before I say something. Go ahead, Wilson.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. We've done enough. Shout out to some of you athletes acting out for the topics that you've done. Y'all out here trying to get us in trouble because y'all don't know how to act. Crash Out Central here, whether it be actual athletes, advisors.
Super Crash Out Man. That's his new name. When you said that, I died. Super Crash Out Man.
We don't even got to add, man. Just Crash Out. Is it? The first thing we thinking about, man. Like, that is crazy. He's too big to be crashing out. And Dallas is crazy because he walked the entire length of the field unbothered with no consequences, worried about anything. But again, another conversation for another day. Uncle Dennis, all this crazy stuff, allegedly. Hopefully we get to the bottom of this nonsense. But for all you other athletes that are kind of quiet, please go get somebody that you trust that is not trying to get movie-type demands, as Octavia names.
Research.
Negotiations. Like, man.
Research. We got computers. Do your homework on people, please. God damn. Go ahead, man. Y'all about.
Again, just I say it all the time. We're in the information age, and some of y'all find the way to be the least intelligent people possible when everyone has a computer in their pocket. Like these phones keep getting more and more advanced. There's no reason. Like they even talk to you now. I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all. But again, we appreciate all y'all that tune in. Whether you watch it live or you catch it in a replay, get over to FocusTV.com. Obviously, if you got a Roku television device, all you got to do is add the channel, type in the Focus TV on the search box, double tap OK to add the channel. And we will see y'all all next week. Hopefully, y'all athletes, make rapid fire and take the leave it a little less strenuous, and y'all just behave a little bit better, please. I know I'm not asking too much.
House this week, guys, please.
Now I'm sure somebody's going to. It's just week 1, man. It's so much to go. And again, since he didn't get suspended, who knows what he'll do for Encore next week?
No, don't say that.
We'll see what happens next week. And, just
Learn his lesson.
I'm sure he did.